So I'm here at the coffee shop with Erica, and I don't even know how to pronounce the name of this place.
Josaria's?
Josaria's?
Yeah, I think that's
I always called it Josera. Joe's, for short.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have the best coffee ever. Like, I'm having I don't know what you even call it, a good one. What are you having?
A raspberry pomegranate tea.
Is that sugar in it?
No. I don't eat sugar at all, so I have to have sugar free. But I like it because the raspberry and the pomegranate make it just a little bit sweet without having the sugar.
Right. It's got natural sugar,
right,
but not much with raspberries. Because I discovered that berries are not fruit. You do gluten-free?
Right. I do wheat-free. Wheat and gluten-free.
And I do low carb, and so we eat a lot of the same things. Oh, speaking of, hang on, sidetrack. Look what I found yesterday. These things, sugar-free and gluten-free, it's called Go Lightly Tropical Fruit Hard Candy. These things are awesome. Like, I eat a lot of sugar-free candy, you probably do too, but these things are like the best thing in the whole wide world. I'm just going to leave you a couple. Anyway, so Eric and I meet once a week, and it's thundering, so we may get caught in a rainstorm here in a second. Thank goodness the camera's under an umbrella. Anyway, yeah, Erica was commenting on the camera because I have a remote and I have an external mic running from it. She's like, well, that's really cool. I haven't seen a real camera in a while.
Yeah.
Because most of us, you know, we just use our mobile,
right,
you know, catch stuff on the fly or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we meet here every week to work on our books. And it's kind of an accountability thing. And we were talking a while back about maybe going like to a writer's retreat. And then I said, why don't we just meet here at the coffee shop every week and just work on our books, right? So we do that, and it works out really good because I would not come here and work if I didn't know she was waiting on me.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, ever occasionally I'll come by myself, but a lot of times I'll end up like on Facebook all afternoon rather than actually working on this stuff.
It's really hard, and I get like it's hard to do like a creative project in my office,
right?
Because there's so much distraction, and I don't know what it is, but just changing the environment, you know, inspires me a lot of times. But the last couple of times that we've met, I haven't actually been working on my book, and I've been having a really hard time staying focused and kind of getting on track. So I've been working on other projects, other creative stuff, and you have too.
Right.
Yeah.
My book, I'm about halfway finished, but I've come up to that point in my book where I know it's going to take months and months of work, and so I decided to work on a smaller project that I know I'd be able to get finished within like 3 or 4 weeks. So that way something would be off my to-do list, and I would also have something that would be bringing in some money for me rather than waiting, you know, a year before I make any money off this book.
Right, right. I hear you. It's tough writing a book. It's a real struggle because you get to a certain point in it and then you get stuck or you get distracted, or I don't know. It's tough. I think my 40s are probably going to be a time for me to write more books. I mean, the books that I'm working on now, I'm going to get out within the year.
Yeah.
But I think in my 40s, when things are a little bit more settled, the kids leave home. So my kids are a lot older than Riley.
Right.
That's going to be, you know, a totally different situation for me personally.
Yeah.
But having an accountability partner is good.
There was a thing they were talking about, and I'm trying to remember, I think it was at Google, where they did an evening where they had everybody come in. They had the interns and the techs, and everybody came in, and so they spent like 8 hours in one, like a Saturday night or something, and they gave them projects, and they got all revved up. They gave them food, and they had all this stuff, and they said that they counted like 280 man hours that they did in one evening. And so when I was reading this, I was talking about this with some of the people in Nashville, and they said, oh, that's great if you've got a team. And so I was saying, no, I was like, there's other ways to do that. Like me and Lynn do. We meet, we kind of say, okay, this is what I want to work on today, you know, and then we have to sit there and get it done. Because then if we sit there for 2 hours and we don't do anything, then we haven't accomplished anything, and the other person's looking at you like you've had your computer open the whole time. What have you been doing?
Didn't you just say that to me like a few minutes ago? You're like, and it's 11 o'clock. I mean, she says, what have you gotten done so far? Because I think this was like 90 minutes into our, halfway into our 3-hour session.
Yeah.
I said, I answered one email. She's like, at least that's something. Right?
Yeah, it's more than you could have gotten done sitting on the sidewalk or something. But
I guess so. But no, I'm just having a really hard time being focused today for some reason, except that now all of a sudden I'm feeling like I'm ready to get in my groove. And sometimes when you know, are doing creative work, you have to get into that groove or whatever. So now I'm actually ready to sit down and whip some stuff out.
Right.
And of course I think it's going to come a big storm, which would be like, I don't know, maybe it's the storm energy or something. Like,
Yeah.
I will blame anything, whatever.
Blame anything, that's great.
Yeah. Any excuse will do, right?
Plus, that sometimes I'll come here to Joe's or other places in town and work by myself, and it'll take me a while to get into my groove. But you know, then sometimes they'll make fun of me here because I'll come and I'll have breakfast after I drop my daughter off, and then I'll be getting into my groove finally. I'll be like, oh, well, I don't want to go anywhere else and get lunch, so I'll eat lunch here too. You know, so I'll be here like all day. You know.
Did you need a cot, Erica?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna move in, so. But
that's so funny.
I do find that I get a lot more done outside the house. There's so many things to get. You know, the cats are always wanting a drink, or they're wanting food, or Riley's
and they
bouncing
don't want anything
around
when you're not there, do they?
Exactly.
You know, like Slim, he
Yeah.
just doesn't want for anything right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not there.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it is. It is very distracting.
They catch up on their sleep while I'm gone, and then when I'm there trying to get stuff done, then they annoy the crap out of me. So.
And you know what? Erica's mom lives in the town where I live, and you went to school there too,
Yes,
right?
I did.
So she can tell you. She'll be my witness. It's the middle of nowhere, right?
It is the middle of nowhere, and it is very backwoods. It's one of those where, like, you know, they make fun of the county over because they're really backwoods with no teeth, but they don't realize that they're calling the kettle black.
Yeah,
you know,
it's that bad. And there's nothing to do there.
There really isn't. I mean, like, I remember when I was in high school, they opened the Applebee's, and that was the first real sit-down restaurant in the whole town.
And you know,
and it was a huge,
that's a big
huge deal when they opened
we have an
that
Applebee's. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
So,
But you know, because we're a dry county,
yeah.
and so any kind of a real restaurant that serves alcohol can't open there because you can't. I think you have to have they got to serve by the drink license. It was a new thing that got passed finally.
Yeah, they finally got that passed, and I think they did that specifically for the Applebee's because they're the only ones that can serve it, right? As far as I know.
I don't know who else. Well, no, you can go to the VFW, the Moose Lodge, and the Eagles. And
never.
It's kind of like
It would never
like
occur to me to go to any of
like the Flintstones, like when Fred Flintstone would go out and he'd have the big moose thing on. But those are the only 3 places. But those are private establishments, so they don't have to adhere to that like a regular commercial restaurant. But yeah, that's the problem there, and that's why a lot of businesses can't come. So in fact, when you're coming to McMinnville, there's a place called Last Chance Saloon, and it's actually it's the last chance to get liquor before you get into McMinnville. And then when you're coming out of McMinnville towards civilization, it's called First Chance Saloon, right? So it's like painted different on each side of the building.
Yeah.
And really, the only way the guy got away with that is he incorporated that little space like into a small town. He actually had to put a post office in. Have you seen that little post office? It's like this big. It's like Legoland. But it's basically a bar and a post office, and it's a town, or it's incorporated, or however he managed to get away with being able to serve liquor out there in the middle of nowhere. But that's an interesting place. Have you ever been in there?
No, I haven't ever been in there, but I have a friend who used to work there.
Don't. Not alone anyway.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
My friend that used to work there always said that she was horrified. They shared a female bathroom, and she said she was always horrified that she was going to get pregnant going to the bathroom.
Oh yeah. That's funny. Anyway, we really better get back to work. Just wanted to say hey from Joe's because I can't pronounce the full name. And I'll see you guys later.